Maple Creek was the picture of suburban bliss: neat houses, green lawns, and friendly neighbors. The lawns were a badge of pride, a symbol of order and happiness. Families worked hard to keep their grass lush, their flower beds tidy. Into this world came Martin Hale, the local gardener with a magical touch. Martin was more than a gardener, he was a trusted friend, a fixture in the community. He remembered everyone's names, their pets, their stories. His philosophy was simple: nature knows best. He promised beautiful lawns without harsh chemicals, only natural solutions. The families of Maple Creek loved this idea: safe for kids, pets, and the planet. Martin's business flourished. The lawns looked better than ever. Children played, families gathered, and everyone felt safe. Martin was a hero, delivering paradise to their doorsteps. But beneath the surface, something was wrong. The perfect lawns hid a secret, a danger slowly seeping into the ground. No one suspected that their sanctuary was built on a hidden threat. The trust in Martin was absolute. The community believed they were making the safest choice. For a while, everything seemed perfect. The grass was greener, the air lighter, the smiles wider. But paradise, as they would soon learn, can be deceiving. The danger was invisible, silent, and growing. The lawns that brought them together would soon tear them apart. Martin's good intentions had set something terrible in motion. The perfect neighbor, the perfect lawn, both were about to unravel, and no one saw it coming. The seeds of disaster had already been sown. The first signs were subtle: an itchy rash, a wave of nausea, a lingering headache. Parents blamed allergies, the weather, maybe a virus at school, but the symptoms kept returning, always after time spent outside. It wasn't just one family. Nearly every house on Sycamore Lane was affected. Children grew tired, pets lost their energy, adults felt unwell. Doctors were baffled. Tests came back normal. Creams and pills offered only brief relief. The cycle continued. Play outside, get sick, recover, repeat. Neighbors whispered, compared notes, searched for answers. Was it the water? The air? No one suspected the lawns. The idea that their own yards could be the cause was unthinkable. The lawns were their pride, their safe haven. But the sickness spread, quiet and relentless. The perfect dream was fading, replaced by confusion and fear. Families grew desperate for answers. The doctors had none. The source of their suffering remained hidden, right under their feet. The lawns, once a symbol of safety, had become a mystery. The community was united in their struggle, but divided by uncertainty. The sickness was no longer just physical, it was a shadow over their lives. The nightmare had begun, and no one knew how to wake up. The answer was closer than anyone realized, but the truth was still buried in the soil. What was Martin Hale's secret? His natural formula came from his own garden. Martin, a passionate botanist, believed nature held the answer to every problem. He brewed potent plant extracts: oleander, castor beans, foxglove, plants known for their toxicity. He thought natural meant safe, that his mixtures would only harm pests and weeds. He never imagined the risk to people. Martin kept his recipe secret, calling it just plant teas. Clients pictured chamomile, not deadly poisons. He truly believed he was helping, not harming. But his logic was dangerously flawed. The toxins he used didn't discriminate. They were as deadly as any synthetic chemical. Martin's good intentions blinded him to the danger. He trusted nature but misunderstood its power. The community trusted him, never questioning his methods. The real danger was not in what he added, but in what he didn't know. The lawns flourished, but so did the poison. The secret formula was a silent threat, hidden in plain sight. The poison didn't stay on the grass. It seeped into the soil, building up with every rain and watering. Children played, dug, and ran barefoot, unknowingly exposed to toxins. Dirt on their hands, grass in their mouths, each contact brought risk. Adults gardening, pets rolling in the yard. No one was safe. The toxins were invisible, odorless, impossible to detect. Symptoms matched the poisons: rashes, nausea, headaches, fatigue. Chronic low-level poisoning became part of daily life. The lawns looked perfect, but the earth was tainted. The family yard, once a place of joy, had become a hidden danger. The community suffered, never suspecting the true cause. The poison was everywhere, and no one could see it. The cost of perfection was higher than anyone imagined. The breakthrough came from David Chen, an engineer and father desperate for answers. He tracked his children's symptoms and noticed they worsened after playing outside. Suspecting the soil, he tested it, first at home, then with a professional lab. The results were shocking. His yard was contaminated with rare, deadly plant toxins. The public park's soil was clean. Only his home and neighbors' yards were tainted. The lab identified oleandrin, ricin, and other toxic compounds. David realized the common link: Martin's natural treatments. He alerted the authorities, sharing his findings and suspicions. At first, officials were skeptical, but the lab report was undeniable. An investigation began immediately. Soil samples from every lawn Martin serviced tested positive for the same toxins. The community's trust was shattered. The source of their suffering was finally revealed. The lawns that united them had been poisoned by good intentions. The truth was out, and the consequences would be severe. The perfect neighbor had become the unwitting villain. The investigation would change Maple Creek forever. The real cost of natural was finally clear. Investigators descended on Sycamore Lane, collecting evidence and confronting Martin. Neighbors were stunned. Martin, the friendly gardener, accused of poisoning their homes? Martin was open about his methods, still believing he'd done nothing wrong. He insisted, "It's all natural. How can it be harmful?" Investigators explained, natural toxins can be as deadly as synthetic ones. Martin was devastated as the truth sank in. He had meant to help, not harm. The law saw it differently. His ignorance was no excuse. Martin was charged with criminal negligence and illegal use of toxic substances. He had created and spread poison without understanding the consequences. The community's trust was broken. Martin's good intentions could not erase the harm. The case became a warning. Nature's power must be respected, not underestimated. The perfect neighbor was now a cautionary tale. The line between help and harm had never been clearer. Maple Creek would never be the same. Cleanup began. Lawns dug up, soil replaced, families displaced. The cost was enormous, the scars lasting. Some residents faced long-term health issues. Children grew fearful of their own yards. The sense of safety and community was shattered. Martin lost everything: his business, reputation, and home. He pleaded guilty, received probation, and was ordered to pay for the cleanup. But his greatest punishment was the guilt he carried. The friendly gardener became a pariah, a warning whispered on the street. The story of Sycamore Lane became a lesson for all. Natural does not always mean safe. Trust must be earned, and knowledge matters. The perfect lawn is not worth the health of a family. Maple Creek learned the hard way. Good intentions are not enough. The real cost of paradise is vigilance and wisdom. The lawns will grow back, but the lesson will remain. Safety, not perfection, is the true foundation of home.